Hello and welcome to TheFederal. Last night, the Congress released its first set of 42 candidates for the Assam Assembly elections. It is the first political party to go off the block for these elections. The list is a mix of prominent leaders and sitting legislatures. But what's more interesting is the list reflects the deliberate response of the Congress to the 2023 delimitation exercise. The reserve seats for the STs have gone up from 16 to 19 and for the SCs from 8 to 9. Congress has adjusted its candidates for this. So, what are the political implications? What is the election strategy? And what about the political alliances? Let's talk to our eminent panelists. Today with us, we have Happy Gogoi from the Assam Congress, Mr. Debajit Goswami, a political analyst, and my colleague Samir K. Purkaista. So let me start with you, Ms. Gogoi. Why has Congress chosen to announce its first list so early? Does it aim at managing internal differences over nominations and also sending a clear message to the parties and to the allies?
Thank you for inviting me. Well, today the list that was declared yesterday, the declaration of the first list of the candidates definitely has unsettled the BJP ruling party. And if you talk about, why the list has been released so early, well, this is definitely a strategic move aimed at strengthening the preparedness of the booth level and the party. So sometimes what happens when you declare the seats early, we definitely get more time and get to activate those seats, those candidates who can work earlier. And sometimes what happens that if there are anything to do with the structured voter outreach or focus with constituency engagement, it is very easy for us to definitely work a little more ahead than the list normally comes up a little late. But this time Congress is playing offensive, and yes, the reason of the first list to come out is definitely a strategic move to make sure that a strong message goes for the readiness of the party workers and the alliance parties.
Okay. So, but how this early candidate announcement will affect the Congress negotiations with allies? Say, for example, Rajya Dal reportedly demanded Borchola and Congress has fielded Ripunpura. And also CPI sought demo, but Congress has again its own candidate. So how do you think this equation is going to affect the negotiations with the allies?
See, the early announcement of the list does not indicate any breakdown of with the alliance talk. In fact, there has been almost 7 to 8 layers of discussions that has taken place, and considering the go ahead from the alliance parties, this is how the first list was released. And of course, we there were some negotiations. Still, there are 1 2 seats that still needs to be negotiated. But that doesn't mean that we are not in the alliance party. We are very much in the alliance party, and this is definitely a strategic move. As you know that Gaurav Gogoi, how he does, how the political strategic moves, how he have to do. He's very much experience on this. So this does not mean really that it has something to affect the allies. But one thing is for sure, that we are fighting with together with the alliance party to fight against the BJP, and this is definitely a strategic move to make sure 1 or 2 seats definitely has to be compromised by both the parties. And as of now, we are pretty good. We are 100% sure of forming the government in 2026.
So now I would like to ask Mr. Goswami. So what is your take on this list? And do you think the Congress should have waited some more time before announcing the candidates, like finalizing the alliance and seat sharing negotiations?
Yeah, presently Congress is, in sheet sharing agreement with the two of the most local parties here. But with one of the parties, regional party, they have almost finalized. Whereas with the other, the talks are still on. They are unable to zero in at some of the constituencies being claimed by both the parties. However, Congress being the oldest party, and as you know that Congress is the party which has been in government in Assam, in the state or in the northeastern, most of the states in the northeastern since independence. Only last 1 decade they are unable to come back because of lot of indifferences among the party workers, as well as basically the issues were with the leaders. So in order to settle the issues at the grassroots level, so that the what you call that this the ones those who are knowing okay, I'm going to get and I'm being the party candidate or the party face for the seat, they will get some amount of time, or rather at the moment you can say the good amount of time to prepare and to address those grievances of the people, the other aspirants, party aspirants as well in those constituencies. It will help both the leaders as well as the grassroots people to get a solution to the grievances of the people out there. So I think from the Haryana experience, from the Maharashtra experience, from the Delhi experience, where Congress was very late, or in fact the Bihar experience, Congress was extremely late in disclosing the name of the candidate for the seats, which has caused them a lot. And I hope, taking into considerations, and Gaurav now being experienced with few of the elections where he is holding where he is really taking care of. So with the experiences of the other states as well, so Congress now has decided to field the candidates at least in some of the seats ahead of the time, so that the candidates get ample amount of time to really fight. Because it's 10 years Congress is not in power, so this is a great opportunity. There is little bit of anti-incumbencies, so Congress want to grab it, and to grab the power, I think it's a good tactic to disclose the name of the party in some of the seats, as been done yesterday. And this will should reward the Congress.
Okay. So, Samir, do you think the list has enough representation of minority candidates?
See, as you know, the delimitation exercise of 2023 has effectively, curtailed the minority seats from around 30 to now around 22. So, in the list announced yesterday, the Congress has named 5 candidates from the minority candidates. So these are mostly in the like in Karimganj North, then Godipur. The 5 candidates they have given. So we still have to wait for the second list, because most of the minority dominated seats they have not yet announced candidates. Like they have not announced candidates for, say, Mankachar, Dolgaon. Those are the minority seats they have not yet announced. There are 17 odd seats are there, which they will have to announce candidate. And then because of the delimitation, as you have seen, this Gwalpara West, which was earlier a minority dominated seat, now it has been converted into ST reserve seat. So Congress has fielded ST candidate there. Interestingly, the Congress's sitting MLA from that constituency has switched over to Raizor Dal. So similarly, Borpeta, which has again been reserved, the Congress had Salman Ali, it's a MLA who was suspended earlier. So that seat is also now reserved. So Congress had to, field a candidate from the SC community, not the minority community. So they had to, do that kind of balancing. They have to take into account this reality of this delimitation. Similarly, like Choigaon, Boko seat, which was represented by a veteran congressman, Rakibuddin Ahmed. So that seat also this time, since it has been reserved, they couldn't field Rakib from that seat. So we have to wait and see, because now they have only announced 42 candidates out of 126, and I'm quite sure in the coming days they will, in rest of the minority dominated seats, 17 odd seats, where the candidatures are to be announced, there they will surely fill some prominent minority faces.
But so, Mr. Goswami, I would like to ask you, what do you think does this indicate about the Congress strategy towards minority?
Look, with the delimitation now, we have around 23 to 25 seats where the minority will be the dominating, and you can say that above 60% of the votes comes from the minority. However, there are additional around 13 number of seats where the minority play a good role in deciding the candidate. So in a way, you can say around 13 number of seats where the minorities are decisive. And Congress earlier till around last election, being the AUDF, All India United Democratic Front, being the major player after 2005, they are the major stakeholders of the minority votes, and they were the till the date also they have 16 number of MLAs. Last time 20 MLAs fought on behalf of AIDUF. They were with a strike rate of 80%. They were able to send 16 MLAs to the Vidhan Sabha. This time, however, after the fall of Badruddin Azmal in the Lok Sabha election, in 2024, the things are different for AIDF, and accordingly, it's a big opportunity for the Congress as well as their alliance partner to grab those votes that were earlier for the last around 2 decades, since 2005 or 2006 elections, assembly elections, last 2 decades, most of the minority votes, minority pockets, those votes were going for the AIDF. Now, this is an opportunity for the Congress to grab those votes, and I hope this effort on part of the Congress, Assam Pradesh Congress Committee, as well as a effort by Gaurav Gogoi, this will definitely help whether candidates have been declared for few around 42 number of seats. However, most of the minority seats are yet to be declared, or the candidate for the minority dominated seats are yet to be declared, because of the reason that the number of contestants or the number of applications for those seats are quite large, and the party, the committee, the selection committee must be they are having a tough time getting into the zeroing about regarding the candidate. So this is because they want to not exactly, they want to address the issues while selecting only. There should not be grievances or there should not be opposition by the others, those who do not being they are unable to being filled. But this is an opportunity. However, this time, apart from the minority vote, it's an opportunity for the Congress as well to get into the Upper Assam votes, where there are a lot of, it's not anti-incumbency, I should say, but still there are grievances among the people for few of the activities by the present government, as well as being BJP being in power for the last 10 years, consecutively for the last 10 years. There are issues that were unaddressed. Basically, the core issues like NRC, CAA, and then there what you call the Janajatikaran of six communities, and then there are other issues, border issues with the neighboring states. So few of the issues that were not being unable to be addressed, the core Jatiya issues, you can say, the regional issues that were BJP has promised to settle. However, they could not for the last 10 years, or they were being taken a back seat. So people, there are grievances among the core Assamese Hindu voters in Upper Assam. So for to grab those, yesterday the seat that you can see that for most of the Upper Assam seats were declared, considering that only because they want to give time to the candidates to really fight it hard with the BJP alliance, so that they come out willing. And I hope it's a big opportunity for the Congress after 10 years to really showcase their strength as well.
Okay. So now I would like to ask Ms. Gogoi. This time, the multiple tickets went to political legacies such as sons of Pradyut Bordoloi, Rakibul Hussain, and Pawan Singh Gatowar. This could trigger allegations of dynastic politics. So, how do you think Congress is going to address such allegations?
See, allegations of dynastic policies dynastic politics that you're saying are politically motivated and overlooked, on the democratic policy within the party. So, if for example, if son of a scientist can be a scientist, if a son, if a doctor, if he's a father, the son can be a doctor, a son can be a teacher. Also, the father is a teacher, son can be a teacher. Why not if the son of a politician can not enter the public life? Of course, they can. And moreover, let's not forget this. Like if you're talking about Pradyut Bordoloi ji, if you're talking about Rakibul Hussain ji, or if you talk about Pawan Singh Ghatwar, all of the sons are, they are highly educated, they're experienced, and they have been in this, political, I would say, experiences for quite some time. So they do have experience, and it doesn't mean that if they are interested, we shouldn't give, or they should be deprived of the ticket. There is no lenience on that. In fact, out of their caliber, out of their hard work, they have been issued the tickets. And I'm sure if we talk about dynasty, let's not forget about the examples of BJP. Let's not forget about Jay Shah, who is also now the chairman of ICC, who have no experience in cricket. Let's not forget about Anurag Thakur. Let's not forget about Pankaj Singh. Let's not forget about Dushwan Singh. Then Chirag Paswan, Poonam Mahajan, Nikhil Gadkari, Suman Haripriya, Basuri Swaraj. Let's not forget about them. In fact, if you talk about Assam, let's not forget about Datta, Manas Bora, Robin Bodlo. Let's see if BJPs are giving them tickets or not. We will definitely keep an eye if they're going to give tickets or not. So it is not about dynasty. It is definitely about hard work and that you deserve or not. And if someone is really working hard, I think they are definitely deserved. One more thing I would like to mention out here, we have some great young blood that has this time who have entered politics and who have been given the tickets, and I'm sure they'll come up with some great result. Like one of them is from Indranil Pegu, who is also a academic leader of Majuli University of Culture, committed to preserving Assam's cultural heritage. We have Rajkumar Modak, who is really, really young. He's a social organizer of missing community. We have then Augustine Inji, who is also the leader representing Karbi community. We have Markline Marak, where we were surprised to have his name, but then we know that he is a very good advocate and social activist, which has recently been, declared as the candidate of Gwalpara West ST seat, as he is fighting for the Garo community. So this time, Congress is very much prepared. As we said, we are playing offensive, and just like the Chief Minister of Assam, he said he definitely appear confident in public statement, but the declaration of our strong candidate has clearly shaken their ground. And this time, the momentum is building, and of course, Congress is ready, Assam is ready, and change is coming.
Okay. So, Samir, what do you think is the message the party is trying to send to the voters through these candidate lists?
See, first of all, by announcing, in the first list itself, the name of Gaurav Gogoi, I think they have made it ample clear that leadership question is now, it's settled now. Gaurav Gogoi is the face of the party, and by including him in the first list itself, it's a strong party has sent out a strong message. And moreover, all the senior leaders, like leader of the opposition, Debabrata Soikia's name is there in the first list. Then former state president Ripun Bora's name is there in the first list. So it's a kind of Congress has tried to send across a message of stability that there is like on the, at least the leadership, the top ranked leaders, they have fielded it in the first list itself. Then this list also has lots of young blood, so it's a in a way, baton has been passed to the newer generation. So lots of young blood has been included. So it's a generation shift that way. Now Gaurav Gogoi, son of former Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi, leading from the front, and he will be backed up by son of several prominent leaders like Pawan Singh Ghatwar, who used to be the Congress state president when Tarun Gogoi was chief minister. So it's a in a way leadership shift also, generation shift in the party. So that's a good, in a way, though there will be allegations of dynasty and all those things. But this also, these new leaders will, one positive is that they will not come with baggages. Like, veteran leaders who had been there in politics for long. And so these people with a clean image, no baggage, that could be a plus for the Congress. And secondly, by announcing the list so early, I think somewhere, Bhupen Bora factor, who had resigned from the party a few days ago, might have played into the Congress's mind as well. So, and not only Bhupen Bora, few others MLAs have also resigned. Most probably Congress wanted to send across the message that there is no internal, they want to set to rest internal confusion or factionalism. So, yeah, and the message is that this there is internal debate is now already settled, and it's a kind of a projection towards stability. This is there is a mixed message the Congress is trying to send across, and this is also in a way message to the alliance partner, particularly Riser Dol, which is trying to play very hard ball with the Congress. So the message is clear that either you join us or we cannot eternally wait for you in seat sharing talks and all these things. We are going ahead and deciding our candidates. In a way, this is also a message to the alliances who are not yet committed to their plan and all. But having said so, the Congress has kept its door ajar for the alliance partner, because we have seen in the list certain seats like Sivsagar, the candidate has not been announced. So Riser Dal chief Akhil Gogoi is eyeing for that seat. So Congress has left that seat vacant. So it's a kind of mixed messaging. In a way, they have opened the door, kept the door open, but at the same time, it has also sent across a signal to the alliance partners or those who are still in negotiating with the Congress, that they cannot wait for long, and the party is ready if needed to go alone. So that is perhaps the message the Congress tried to send across.
Okay. So finally, Mr. Gogoi, this list, what does it reveal about Congress strategy to reclaim ground in Assam after years out of power?
See, I would only say one thing, that this is like the right time, and I think it's been like a history for us also, that this time, maybe even before the election date has been declared, we are ready with our candidates, we are ready with our young blood, and under the leadership of our youth icon, Sri Gaurav Gogoi, we are definitely on a very much strategic. The planning is going on. We are very much, ready for the upcoming elections, and with those young bloods and those enthusiastic people who are readily, they're ready to vote and throw the BJP party out of, the election this time. We are very much ready, and I think this is a very good decision. We are coming up with the second and third list, very soon. And today, I think that in Alliance, the Riser Dol is also coming to declare with their list. And very soon you'll get to know. This time with Alliance Party, we are definitely going to form the government, and BJP is, going to be away. And this time they are not going to get full majority. That's for sure.
And Mr. Goswami, your take on the election strategy for the Congress to reclaim power after years being out of power?
Yeah, for being a person who is apolitical, we always wanted that the opposition should be strong. But unfortunately, during the last 2 terms of the government, there was almost no opposition. Even Congress fielded 93 candidates last time. Only 29 came out winning. The winning percentage was something around 30, very poor. And even the 20, they could not keep the 29 MLAs intact. Most of them were their body was there in the Congress party. However, the soul was with the ruling party. So there was basically no opposition, for which most of the common people's issues were not being highlighted. Or last 5 years, what we have seen is the BJP, the ruling government, playing both the role of a government as well as the opposition. This is extremely poor and detrimental for a good democracy. And for a state being we have the international boundaries with the Bhutan as well as with the this Bangladesh. Arunachal is very near to us. We have border disputes with all the neighboring states. Apart from that, the migration issues, there is such a flood and erosion issues are there. There is unemployment. There is huge amount of corruption. Then there is another issue of the Hindi belt. People coming here and threatening our own identity. There's some 2 months back such incident has happened that when those Hindu people coming and threatening our own indigenous people, like they are Chinese, so you should go back. So there are price rise issues. There is corruption in every form. There is no industrialization apart from what you call that the semiconductor that is about to come. No industrialization. Tea industry, 50 lakh workers work in the tea industry. The tea industry is almost in a dying state. Our silk was there, but we could not do anything. Irrigation system has failed. Act East policy, we couldn't do nothing. There were syndicates in all the items. There are big dams on our head now. So what with the initially the BJP government was against the big dam. Now the this dam has came up. So all these their crime rates are increasing. The government schools are being closed down. Education and health has becoming so expensive, going out of common man's hands. So there were forest land being encroached. There were oil scams happening. There are a lot of from GST, toll tax, entertainment tax, trade tax. These land revenue tax are increasing. Custom duty. Not to talk about all those things. Then this urban flooding has become is a major issue being unaddressed. So there are several issues that it's good for the Congress now to take up. I don't know how prepared they are, but looking at the state and looking at the what you call the body language of the Congress leaders, especially the team leader in a way that the APCC president, he is trying to lead from the front, but I suppose he need to be backed up by a solid, experienced, good, young as well as experienced people, because for him to understand every state is difficult. Being very new to the to the region, only 10 years back only he is there, and most of the time he used to sit in the parliament. So considering all these things, I hope that we need a good opposition within a strong opposition. Congress has the possibility. Congress has been in the power in the state for so many years. They have the that to come back. They have all the potential to come back, but it depends on how unitedly they fight the election.
Thank you, Ms. Gogoi, Mr. Goswami, and Sami. That's all we have time for today. The 2026 Assam Assembly elections are still months away, but clearly the political contest has begun. Thank you again so much for joining. Stay connected with Federal for all the latest updates. Thank you.